How was Mr. Cesaro when he came in?
Oh, this that guy, if that's his real name. I tell you what though, Dutch,
How's he
that
doing?
first that he's doing great. And that first
Yep.
night that we came together, we did a cage match. And the first time that we locked eyes and went face to face, everybody in the building 10 years later, 9 years
Yeah.
later, still started chanting We the People.
We
When
the
I
people.
debuted in 2019 and I got done, the whole crowd, 14,000 people in Washington, D.C., all chanting We the People. And so it's something that if you wanted to, you and I could go back to that right now. It's always going to be there, and it's very special.
Somebody asked me, can you still use We the People? I said, yeah. They said, they have it copyrighted. I said, you can't copyright the Constitution.
Mm.
You can't patent that. I mean, that belongs to everybody. I can use the whole Constitution if I want to. Anybody can.
Yeah,
But We the People belongs to the people.
yeah.
Otherwise, why say that? But and you brought up, excuse me.
Paul Heyman, when Paul Heyman stole Cesaro and the whole thing. Do you remember the whole sort of like? Because I know Dutch has talked about it for me, and then it was completely nonsensical that all of a sudden Paul Heyman would take Cesaro.
Yeah.
Do you remember at the time like there being some sort of like massive story that was going to come out of that didn't?
Massive story coming out.
Yeah, sort of like a sorry, like a long term story arc rather than Vince
Oh,
McMahon just
oh,
saying I
yeah.
want Cesaro to go with Heyman now.
So here's the thing. At that time, Claudio, Antonio, whatever his name is, he was on fire. He was super hot. But also, we the people were really like coming together. I think they put us together in the summer of 2013, and this was the day after Mania in New Orleans in 2014. And Dutch mentioned his biggest regret. I would say this was my biggest regret is in this moment. We were all ringside. We were there with Triple H, and he was explaining to us what was happening. Um, I didn't say anything, and I wish I would have. I knew that once you change one dynamic of the group, that it was all going to change. But it's what they wanted. They wanted Antonio to be a big star for them, even though Vince constantly put his thumb on Claudio by doing stupid stuff that would get him over, like taking away the giant swing. They literally told him not to do the giant swing. And so this was their way of like shooting him to the moon, putting him with Paul Heyman and taking him away from us. And you know, it could have been good, I guess, but it was just so overnight and forced that it was going to take time, and they weren't going to give it any time. And it's just one of those things where, once again, they didn't know how big We the People were or how big it was, and they wanted to take it away or they wanted to stop it because we were getting too popular, which they didn't want. And then they wanted to go with him, dude, he was having 5-star matches with all of their company guys. He was having amazing matches with You Can't Bleed Me, and it was good. He was hot, but it just wasn't the right move. They wanted it, but
They
uh,
told me they wanted to put him with Heyman to get some heat on him. I went,
yeah, which
and 4 weeks later, they dropped it.
dropped it.
I think putting him with Heyman hurt him.
It did,
And
100%.
and now he's back on his own again. He's back in the same spot where he started.
Yeah,
He was
and
he was hey, you guys made a great tag team.
yeah, we
A
did.
great tag team.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to work together. I mean, he's a great wrestling mind in general. The ideas that he would come up with were awesome, and I really got to piggyback on them and just go out there and have fun.
Well, it was fun for me just to stand outside the ring and watch you guys.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys work together so well.
We got to tell this story as well since we're here. Like,
Here
still
we go.
to this day, Goldust and I, anytime we're wrestling or anytime we were out there, we always say to him, and we always go, "Look at him, he's all blowed up." Because Dutch used to stand on the outside of the ring during these matches, and I'd be hungover or whatever, and all tired, and he would just go, "Look at him, Jack. He's all blowed up in the ring."
And he would say, "Shut up, shut up."
Well, for the record, Goldie wasn't hungover. I was hungover. Goldie.
Oh yeah, but he would be huffing and puffing. Oh, I would embarrass him, and he'd laugh about it later. But he said, and he was blowed up. I said, "Look at him, Jack. He's all blowed up. You out of shape bastard."
So if anyone's listening to this and you get to meet Goldust, say, "Look, Goldie, you look all blowed up."
Yeah. But that's another good guy.